Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of Renaissance Humanism. Today, we're going to talk about Robert Kiyosaki, mindset, personal development, and is it real? Is it not real? Is it bullshit? What can you get out of this? Okay. To start off, a bit of background about Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki is a entrepreneur. He used to be a helicopter pilot during the 1970s and 1960s during the Vietnam War. Um, he made his money investing in stocks, investing in the stock market, in the property stock market to be precise. He does invest in stocks as well in the stock market, in the New York Stock Exchange, and in international. In his Rich Dad Poor Dad, his book, where he talks about how he actually created his wealth. Just so you know, if you are interested in purchasing Rich Dog, Rich Dad Poor Dad, this came out in the 1990s. So the information in that book, it's from the 1990s. It hasn't been updated, so it's not meant for like this time period. Just because the information in that book is probably over 30 years old now. I think got very close to it. So when you read that book, just be aware. Do not make your life choices on that book just because you listen to this podcast, listen to this YouTube channel, because the information is dated. I put it there for your benefit, just so you know. So what Robert did, he invested, he took out loans in debt, and he put that debt into stocks. And what he did, the housing stock, when the price went up, he sold that stock, the housing stock, just so we're clear with each other. He sold that stock to people that want to buy the houses, properties, because he was a property developer, and he got the money back, paid off those loans, invested in got more debt, and invested into more properties. So that's how he made his wealth. He also makes his wealth now, I believe, by publishing his books and personal development. He has the Rich Dad Poor Dad business of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and yeah. Um, as for the personal development space, that really started in the 1950s. Now, with personal development, I'm going to separate that into two categories. There's personal development and there's professional development. Sometimes personal development affects professional development. Let's say if you don't sleep, you don't get out of bed until 10 a.m. You start going to bed early, that's personal development. Because you go to bed early, let's say 9, 10, you get your full 8 hours sleep, you wake up refreshed. You don't do that, you wake up tired. That's a form of personal development. Going to the gym once a week, twice a week, and building a routine. Because with routine, you get consistency. With consistency, you get success. We all are our habits, and those habits build us who we are. So that's a form of personal development. It can say professional development is development that leads to you developing these higher skills, the skills that are going to get you a higher paid job, skills that are going to help you become an entrepreneur, skills that are just going to help you get into a higher wage bracket, get into the 20% of earners. That's professional development. Now, I also want to say, when it comes to professional development, there's no shortcuts. If something's going to take 5 years, it will take 5 years. It takes about 5 years for someone to become a true master. And that's according to Robert Greene, the author of Mastery, where he talks about what it takes to become a master and the price of that. Also, if you become like a master, if you're an apprentice, you apprentice in the field, Robert Greene makes the argument that you're probably going to have to cut the person. When I say cut the person, I don't mean you slit their throat. I don't mean literally. I don't want anybody thinking that they've seen this, I thinking they gotta go and stab somebody. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when I say cut somebody, I mean that you gotta leave them behind. You gotta move on to greener pastures. When I say greener pastures, I mean you must move on to better successes. You must become independent. Like say if you work as an associate assistant to UX designer or your assistant marketer, if you've been in that job for 5 years, there's something wrong. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm saying you probably will look for a job that pays more because in that time you should have mastered your skills. In my view is this: I'm sure you agree with me that once you have mastered a skill, once your job becomes easy, too easy, it's time for you to move on to something that's more challenging. And when that gets too easy, move on to something else or try to move up the company. Though with these days, when it comes to stuff like that, I would not trust. If someone says they're going to promote you in 6 months' time, you don't get promoted in 6 months' time, that 6 months you've waited when you could have got promoted or you expect them to. I recommend that you're probably better off edging your bets, looking for work somewhere else. That'll give you that promotion because companies they tend to hire internally so they can keep the staff. They don't tend to hire out. So you're looking for like new positions that have entry level or higher up. Sometimes they recruit internally. They also recruit externally as well. It just depending on organization and its culture. Now, I want to say when it comes to personal development, back to personal development, that for myself, I've worked as a Oriflame brand partner, and what we did, we used personal development to bring people into the organization, to actually inspire people to actually go out there, get more sales, and that kind of thing. But that personal development, the way it worked, the structure was a pyramid scheme. Well, I got to be careful now for legal reasons. It looked like a pyramid scheme. It sounded like a pyramid scheme, but it wasn't a pyramid scheme, even though the structure of the organization was a pyramid. So if you understand that, it might look like a pyramid scheme, but it's not a pyramid scheme, even though it probably is a pyramid scheme, right? So what it is, you recruit people into your cell, into your little piece of the pyramid. You keep recruiting people, and they make sales, and those sales help provide you with income that can sustain yourself. If you're at the top of the pyramid, remember it's not a pyramid, it looks like a pyramid. If you're at the top of this spider diagram, this pyramid, that's not a pyramid, you'll realize that that person gets most of the profits. Well, not most of the profit, they get like the percentage of the sales for each person that sells a piece of cosmetic product. And what it does to keep people involved, it gets them reading stuff like Jim Rohn, Tony Robinson, these people who actually make books and business in personal development. Now, what it does, that personal development, it gets you thinking that you must stay, that you must keep on trying to do this, keep on selling these cosmetic products, and eventually make a success. What you don't realize that you're buying products to sell to people out of your own pocket because you're taking on all the risks, all the financial risks, and you're doing that to try to sell these products, which you're only going to get a tiny percentage of what you actually sell. So you realize something like this, that there's something going on quickly, something's not right. You got these people in the room saying how great it is, and they realize some of them are really convinced, but they know that it's not doing this. It's a trap. It's a personal development trap because you think that you're personal developing. You think they tell you that you're an entrepreneur, but you're not an entrepreneur. You're somebody who's doing services. You're servicing their products. You're getting it to customers. What you are the van delivery driver. You are picking up the products. You are selling the products to people's households. You're dropping catalogs that you got to pay for off to people. You gotta do your own lead work. You gotta do your own marketing online, and you're selling a product that's not your own. This ain't like it's not like a YouTube channel where you put a link in and people can go in there and buy stuff off your link. It's not like that. It's a pyramid scheme. My mistake. It looks like a pyramid scheme. It sounds like a pyramid scheme, but it's a pyramid scheme, and that's what these kind of environments do. They get you entrapped because they see these people saying, "God, this is great, this is great, this is great." This is what you call it's how salespeople influence people. If you ever been to like salespeople, these kind of things, they say you buy this scheme, you're going to be wealthy, you're going to be successful. What is if you're desperate? Because I was desperate in late 2020. You'll jump onto anything, you'll do anything, you'll take anything, you'll experiment, you'll do out. And that's what it does. It preys on people's vulnerability. That's the thing you gotta be careful with personal development. That it preys if you need to develop, it's recognition, it's you recognizing there's something wrong with yourself. either personally, professionally, and then you realize I need to do fix something about this. But that kind of thing, it can be preyed upon by people wanting to sell you products, services, development courses. It goes on and on and on, and it's not very that kind. I would say this: if you want to advise something like that, don't do don't focus on personal development. Focus on professional development. Your personal development, that's go to gym. I know if you look at me now, I'm not got massive guns. You know, I'm not like I ain't got massive guns. My arms are my arms are stick thing. But I've been going to the gym for over 5 months. But yeah, but go to the gym. You'll feel a bit healthier because a lot of jobs these days, we got to sit down. You're sitting down, you're pushing your organs down. It affects your sexual organs. It affects your testosterone. It's the same affects women as well. You're going to feel less sexual. You're going to feel less fit. So go to the gym. That's a form of personal development. That's effective. Go to the gym. Talk to people. Go outside. That, that that's a good form of personal development. Professional development, that's something that helps your career. That's something that helps you build a new skill. So like, I recommend this Code Academy. Code Academy, you can actually learn how to code. That's if you have the temperament for it. You can learn how to do digital marketing and marketing. That's a skill that anybody can learn. I mean, there's a YouTuber and a personal development coach called Kevin Samuel, and he puts it simply. If you watch his podcast, his YouTube channel, you'll find it interesting because he does like what he's doing on his YouTube channel is marketing to people in their 20s, I would say, and older. I think it's the black community, the black space, I believe it's called. That's in the Americas. That's because he's American. He wants to target African Americans. Uh, YouTube, obviously YouTube, it's predominantly male. I think the age tends to be like in the mid 20s. If I got off the top of my head, mid 20s. So what he's doing is targeting. He's also using Instagram as well, but using Instagram, Facebook, that he is actually targeting and interact with his audience. If you watch him, you don't have to agree with what he's saying, Kevin Samuels, but it does show you what he's doing, how he's actually developing his podcast, his YouTube channel, his social media. It's in something interesting to watch. You don't have to agree to what he's saying, just because if you agree to what he's saying, you run the risk of because he just wants the content. You'll see what I mean. But if you do watch him, you will see how he's actually targeting people, and that he does say that if you want to go into marketing, you don't need a college degree, you don't need a university degree, and I 100% agree with him. I think something like that I think university degrees, college degree in digital marketing, they're probably too long, way too long. You probably want 12 months solid educational experience. Enough you pop. For myself, I started learning about digital marketing, podcasting, marketing strategies when in late 2020. In that space of time, I've done a copywriting internship. I've done a content writing internship. That's 6 months worth of work. I've done 12 months working as an Oriflame brand partner. There's another 12 months worth work using Facebook, Instagram. I also done a 12 months developing my own blog as well, website as well. So you realize these are skills you actually learn by yourself. There's online courses you can buy in professional development. For myself, I got mine from Read. So if you're going to Read, it's like a job search thing. They also do a course on there as well. For £10, I did a level 7 marketing, digital marketing. It was just like a book list I had to read and write about what I've read. Something like that's pretty simple. You do not need to go to university or college to go that kind of qualification. I would say to know a subject well at graduate level, you want to read about, I think it's between 25 or 50 books I can't remember the precise number. I think it's probably 25, but I think it's 25. I'm pretty sure it's 25, but please check. But that's only for your social sciences, your digital marketing, and your soft sciences. If you're trying to be an engineer, if you're trying to be a doctor, if you're trying to be a lawyer, you need practical experience. There's certain jobs out there and career paths where you cannot bullshit yourself to success. It just doesn't work. There's certain things like doing UX design, digital marketing. You're gonna have to learn, educate yourself as you go along. That's something that is doable. But for something like being a doctor, something like being an engineer, the power of bullshit will not help you. It just it don't work like that. Um, oh yeah, back to Robert Kiyosaki. Now, Robert Kiyosaki, this is back to the mind. This is going back to mindset now. It says that between in every single person, there is a poor person, there is a rich person, and there is a middle class person. The poor person is he or she, however you self identify, are terrified. They are shit scared of losing what little they have. But every single week, they live week to week and they realize what they're living on, how they're trying to support themselves and their family is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. That they're never moving forward. If anything, it's 2 steps forward, 1.5 steps back, or 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. And they realize they haven't moved anywhere. Sometimes it's 1 step back. And they're struggling every single day, every single week. Now, a middle class person, this is like your doctors. This is UK doctors, not American doctors. American doctors, I understand you're probably earning like 6 figures because compared to the UK, you get paid a shit lot more. So I'm talking like doctors, people in the middle class, people on like £52,000 a year or over 30,000 a year. In the UK, to be classed in the middle class, you have to be earning over 45,000 a year, I believe it is. That's probably changed now with inflation. That's over £45,000 a year and and an income savings of about 16,000, I believe it is. So 16,000. And that person, they want to save up for the pension. Robert used the example of his father, who was a professor in Hawaii, that all he wanted to do is protect his pension, and he realized that he lost his pension when he got fired from his job, that he no longer had the securities to look after himself and his family and look after himself in his old age. So that's the person in the middle class. They're terrified of losing what success they've got. They are devoted to their wage and they're not actually investing the money in assets. Robert Kiyosaki is all about putting your money in assets like stock market. That's the New York stock market, foreign stock markets, whichever stock market you have to invest in companies and then get money back in return from for either selling the shares or the dividends from owning stock. He also talks about investing in housing, that the rich people, a person who's rich doesn't work for money. That person puts their money into assets that returns greater value upon later. That's why the rich is rich. For example, with people like Steve Jobs, they become like millionaires overnight, or Elon Musk. Elon Musk, when he sold PayPal, that they became millionaires, or when they took their company public because they got the money from the stocks. People investing their money into Apple, into Tesla, so it made them billionaires overnight. So that's what I mean. Says that people like that, according to Robert Kiyosaki, they don't pay tax because they put all their wealth into assets, and assets can't be taxed, and that they take out loans on their assets, which they can sell off to pay the debt. But they use that debt to invest in the company and invest in personal investments that they can pay off in another time because they have the assets to pay off the debt. Now, when this all comes to mindset, is that for myself, I'm from Northern England. I'm from Yorkshire, and that people in my country, I know people like small towns in America as well, I believe the same thing as well, that they don't want you to improve. They don't want you to move up your social ladder, move up your social hierarchy, move up your financial hierarchy. They want people to stay in their box. They want people to stay poor. Is that I've experienced this myself. I'm sure you have done as well. If you have, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. That this kind of backwardness is preventing growth, your personal growth, your professional growth, just because you live in a society who doesn't understand why you should do internships, why sometimes you have to work for nothing, sometimes that you gotta give before you can take, and also don't understand savings because they just can't, they just don't understand what it requires to actually grow yourself as a success. I don't mean like becoming a millionaire, anything like that. I mean, like to actually get a higher paying position, a paying job that pays more, or move to a new town. They just have the growth mindset. I know sometimes with personal development spaces, professional development spaces, when people talk about growth mindset, about growing yourself, there is legitimacy. There's legitimacy in that. It's something that we all got to understand, that we all got to keep on growing. But I would say if you're buying like $5 on self growth and you're not actually growing, then you're probably on the wrong track. The only way to succeed is do, even if you move at a sloth space. If you're a sloth but you're moving, that's more progress than just reading the personal development book after personal development book about frigging mind growth and shit like that. That's just wasting your time and your productivity. Okay. Finished with today. I think I've covered everything. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed today's YouTube channel. You can follow me on LinkedIn. Please check out my blog as well. And hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thanks for your time. I hope this was worth it.